The United States plays a critical role in global affairs. And one of the most important things that we do is provide international food assistance to people suffering in hunger crises around the world. We do this not just because it's morally right, but because it's also in the economic and national security interests of our country to do so. Humanitarian aid, specifically food aid, has been a part of the United States story since the moment of our founding. If this is how long our nation has been around, this is how long we've been providing international food assistance. The first true act of international food assistance happens way back in 1812. There was an earthquake in Venezuela, and the United States sent $50,000 in wheat flour to respond to people suffering from hunger as a result of that event. The second major event the United States was involved in was the Irish Potato Famine back in 1845. Well, the United States provided ships and loaded it up with food from Catholic Charities and sent it to people in need in Ireland. In 1914, America found itself at war. The First World War would really test our commitment to providing international food assistance. The United States established the Commission for Relief in Belgium and provided food aid to 10 million Belgians and French nationals suffering from hunger as a result of the war. The Second World War would claim more than 50 million lives, and so our efforts to provide international food assistance also needed to grow in this period. So President Roosevelt set out to establish the largest food assistance program to date, and it was a program called the United Nations Relief and Rehabilitation Agency. It expanded the reach of the United States food assistance programs, and it brought other nations together to contribute to the cause as well. It was our first global response to fighting hunger. Europe had considerable food needs in the aftermath of the Second World War, so we needed something bigger still. The United States launched the Marshall Plan to help rebuild Europe in the aftermath of the Second World War, much of it in the form of agricultural supports and food assistance. In 1954, the United States, under the Eisenhower administration, would stand up what is known as the Food for Peace Act. The Food for Peace Act was critically important because it was a permanent institution, something that we were going to provide dollars and resources to every single year to respond to hunger emergencies around the world. Agricultural productivity was rising in the country. We had food to spare. The Food for Peace program takes food grown in the United States, puts it on ships, and sends it abroad to people in need. But we weren't done yet. Then we take the Food for Peace program on the road, and we decide to try our hand again at a global effort to fight hunger. And in November of 1961, the United Nations World Food Program is born. WFP's first official mission took place in 1962 in Iran in response to an earthquake there. But the organization has been at the center of every major hunger emergency that humanity has faced since that time. From famine in Ethiopia to Operation Lifeline in Sudan, to the earthquake in Haiti in 2010, to modern conflicts like Yemen and Syria, where there is hunger, WFP is there to respond. The common thread throughout the history and the evolution of these international food aid programs run by the United States has been bipartisanship. Maybe the best example of this bipartisan spirit is in the McGovern-Dole school feeding program from two senators, Bob Dole and Senator George McGovern, who worked together on domestic hunger issues in the United States before developing the McGovern-Dole school feeding program. And the importance of this is clear. Children who are not well fed are not well educated, and there are downstream impacts on society from a failure to reach children with nutritious school meals. Although the United Nations World Food Program has been in existence for more than 60 years, it has been led by an American without interruption since 1992 that continues through to Cindy McCain today. The history of the United States and the history of the United Nations World Food Program are deeply intertwined. Today, the United Nations World Food Program is the world's largest humanitarian organization fighting hunger, and the United States continues to be the largest donor to the World Food Program year in and year out.